Woof. I'm here. I'm alive. But that that Jupiter Saturn square got me so good. I've known for months now that Jupiter entering Cancer means I'm going to be very, very busy just based on like where it is in my chart. But somehow I still was like totally thrown by like just how overwhelmed I was overnight by like short term deadline stuff. Not bad stuff, just a lot of stuff. So much so that it required a very intense like reprioritization and restructuring Jupiter square Saturn of how my time is being spent and like what is on the chopping block if I just don't have enough time. Anyway, let's talk about next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, June 24th, is the Jupiter Cazimi. This is an annual event. Jupiter just entered Cancer on the 11th. The Sun is entering Cancer, I think, later today. Happy birthday, Cancers! So the Sun is meeting up with Jupiter in early degrees of Cancer. When the Sun meets up with Jupiter, it's called a Cazimi, a Jupiter Cazimi. This is like a rebirth or like a reset for Jupiterian topics. When the Sun conjoins Jupiter, it like lights Jupiter up from the inside. And for that like one day, it's like Jupiter has the power of the Sun behind it. Jupiter represents things like enthusiasm, momentum, feeling like you have the wind at your back, feeling like there's a higher meaning or like a wisdom to the experiences that you have. Jupiter believes in you. Jupiter wants to help you meet your potential. It sees the potential in you and wants to give you the resources that you need to meet that potential. In a more like literal, mundane kind of way, Jupiter also represents just life-giving circumstances, good health, merriment. Jupiter also expands whatever it touches, for better or worse. For the most part, Jupiter acts in good faith or like with a level of goodwill, but there are some things you don't want to get bigger. You don't want to spread. I feel like I'm repeating myself because a lot of what I'm saying here, I said in a video that I made with my friend and fellow astrologer, Alice Pope. We posted the full thing on YouTube, but I have posted a couple of clips here. It was a really enlightening conversation, and I think that we very thoroughly covered Jupiter and like Jupiterian topics. So if that's something that interests you, I would definitely recommend that you check out that video. Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer, which is where this Cazimi is happening. When a planet is in the sign of its exaltation, it's like we get the very best version of that planet. Jupiter, while in Cancer, is a really incredible, like gifted caretaker, understands what is needed in order for you to grow, again, in order for you to meet your potential. When Jupiter is in Cancer, it has the means to give you what you need and wants to give you what you need. The Jupiter Cazimi happens once a year, but it doesn't happen in Cancer very often. The last time the Jupiter Cazimi happened in Cancer was in 2002. It was like mid-July of 2002. What's really unique about this one is that it is embroiled in this square between anything that's happening in early Cancer and the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that's happening in early Aries. So Jupiter just entered Cancer, boom, it hit a square to Saturn and Neptune. The Sun is doing the same thing, and we're having a new moon the next day, Wednesday. So it's like Sun, Moon, Jupiter, all in the same place in the sky, and all of them are squaring Saturn and Neptune in early degrees of Aries. I can go on and on and on about how wonderful and generative this Jupiter Cazimi is in the sign of Jupiter's exaltation. And with the moon there, that's beautiful because the moon rules Cancer. But it wouldn't be a complete picture. You have to understand that there is a difficult aspect happening between these three planets that want to plant a seed and nourish it and allow it to grow and like really proliferate and thrive up against Saturn and Neptune, which is like hey, there's a limit to what you're capable of. There's a limit to your ability to understand the reality that you're living in. Saturn and Neptune, I I I literally think about discovering that you've been living in the matrix, or there's something, the rug is pulled out from under you in some way related to your understanding of reality or existence. I think for many of us that's going to take the form of being able to recognize the real harm that our own like self limiting beliefs have done in our lives. And of course collectively it's, recognizing and trying to fight against a death cult and the psychopaths who lead it. I believe this is a very significant moment. I doubt any of you are surprised to hear that. I think it's going to be a loud, hot summer, boiling over. As I said, Cancer is a sign that is ruled by the moon. On the day that this Jupiter Cazimi is happening, the moon it's about to enter Cancer, but on the actual day, it's in like late degrees of Gemini and it's squaring the nodes, the north node in Pisces, the south node in Virgo. You can think of this as being at an experiential crossroads between faith and fear. So, in some way, this rebirth of life giving circumstances is being informed by the pull between leaning into faith and like doubling down on your ability to control a situation. Another thing that's happening that day is Mercury in Cancer is squaring Chiron in Aries. They're much later in their sign. It's like late Cancer to late Aries, but there's a repeated symbol of Cancer versus Aries. Cancer is the nurturer, the caregiver, and Aries is the warrior. We are struggling to embody both of these energies in an appropriate way. The truth is, given the circumstances, we really do need to embody both, and we need to understand and discern what the fuck that looks like. When and where am I giving care versus when and where am I drawing a line and fighting? This is not an easy set of symbols to navigate for any of us. If it feels hard, good. If it feels hard, that's not an indication that you're doing something wrong. I think that this is a moment that feels uncomfortable, and it needs to. We will turn this corner. This is a temporary set of circumstances, and this moment deserves our respect. It deserves us showing up and being willing to embody that contradiction. Let it hurt. Let it piss you off. Let it change you. That's the only way you're going to change it. Anyway, I hope this was helpful or interesting. It's good to be back. I enjoy making these videos. I love to talk. Thank you for watching. Good job today. Good luck out there.